Welcome back to the Legion Guides. This is Enhancement Shaman. I love Enhancement Shaman in this expansion. I think it's really great compared to WoD. Ugh, WoD. But still, it's a really good spec. I hope you enjoy playing, and I hope this guide helps you be that much more enjoyable to play. I hope it be that much more enjoyable for you to play it, because it's a really good spec, and I hope you have fun. Now, we're going to go over the basic guides, which means we're going to go over leveling talents, max level talents, a rotation, and a little bit of a, you know, kind of like style of play style. We won't be going over artifact or traits until in the intermediate guide. There might not be an expert guide for this because I don't think there needs to be an expert guide for this, due to the fact that it's not much you need to know about Enhancement Shamans. It's kind of a rhythmic thing. It's like playing Guitar Hero. So let's start off with the talents. For leveling, I would like to recommend Windsong, Feral Lunge, Lightning Surge Totem, Hailstorm, Tempest, Crashing Storm, and Ascendance. This makes it so that you're getting the most value out of your low kind of Maelstrom, generation, and high value out of the fact that you have attack speed. Since most dungeons are over pretty fast anyway, this will give you the most potential damage you can deal before you have to stop. And if you can kill them in an opening burst, that's great. It means your leveling is 10 times easier. Have fun with yourself and enjoy the rest of your day. But if you're level 110 and you just picked up Enhancement and want to learn how to play it, I would recommend Boulder Fist, Wind Rush Totem, Lightning Surge Totem, Astral Swiftness, Tempest, Crashing Storms, and Landslide. Boulder Fist replaces your Rock Biter with a heavier damage dealing ability. That gives you a combat buff. Really great. Wind Rush Totem is a movement speed totem where you can put it near your party members and you get movement speed. Really great for avoiding damaging spells in Mythics and Mythic Pluses. Lightning Surge Totem, stuns in Mythics and Heroics in general are just really great. Especially an AoE stun that you just need to be proficient with. And since the tank's going to have the mobs on them anyway, just put it underneath the tank. Haste for Shamans are great. So Astral Swiftness giving you 10% more haste is always great, because you got to stack that haste. Stack it like it's hot. 30% haste is your goal. Everything else is mediocre. Tempest makes one of your passes have 2 charges. Really great. Really great passive, by the way. I'm going to show you about that later. Crashing Storms causes one of your abilities to do AoE damage. And Landslides correlates with Boulder Fist, allowing you to have a nice, big buff. All Enhancement Shaman is keeping up personal buffs and doing damage. Next up, let's start over with the abilities. I would have went over Boulder Fist if I need to. Storm Strike. Basically your main damage dealer. Costs 40 Maelstrom. It's 40 Maelstrom. It's not that bad. Level Ash. If you have Maelstrom to dump and you don't get procs on your passive, that's fine. Flame Tongue is your other buff that gives you fire damage on auto attacks and Wind Fury procs. Really great. This is just to peg targets, so that way you can, get them in aggro range. If you want to pin a mob that someone's attacking, you just want to make you the credit, just throw some lightning bolts out there. The Maelstrom Healer, which is really nice, it basically heals you for 150k. And it consumes 20 Maelstrom if available, and becomes instant. Really great for if you have to heal a tank up really quickly. This is your AoE, Crashing Lightning. It's really great. It's really great. Electrocutes all enemies in front of you, dealing a lot of nature damage, hitting 2 or more targets. It enhances your weapons for 10 seconds, causing Storm Strike and Lava Lash to also deal nature damage to all targets in front of you. It's like the Death and Decay from the Unholy Guide for Clawing Shadows. It's really great, because it works with both talents. Next up is your Interrupt, which is Wind Shear. Now, there's one thing about Shamans that I really like. It's the fact that Wind Shear is a ranged interrupt on a melee class. If you never know, most melee classes have kind of a short interrupt range, really close to each other. So you need to be touching just to interrupt him. But with a 30-yard range, it's a 30-yard range. You're not going to get hit. You're going to stay there and just be told of pain. It's really good. It's really good. Of course, there's one more ability, which is Feral Spirits. You summon 2 Ghost Wolf to attack your opponent and generates Foul Maelstrom. Now, I don't really think Feral Spirits is that big of a DPS increase to want to use it for 15 seconds. I have a 2-minute cooldown. I would like it to have a little bit more of a 1-minute cooldown, because it'll be a lot better then. But with the talents and traits from your artifact weapon, that makes it a little bit better, but we're going to that later, because we're not going to go over it today. We're going to go over a bit of a rotation here. But first off, I gotta explain one passive to you called Stormbringer? There it is. Your main hand attacks have an 8% chance to reset the mating cooldown of Storm Strike, and cause your next Storm Strike to cost 50% less Maelstrom and trigger no cooldown. This means that you can rapidly, successively, and precisely execute 3 Storm Strikes for the price of 2. Which is really good because you can just proc the 2 things twice, then use a normal one. Always make sure Storm Strikes on the CD. Never have it proc when it's at full. You should always make sure to use it at all times. And as for a rotation of damage, well, if you're going up to someone, best thing to do is hit Boulder Fist, Flame Tongue, Boulder Fist, Storm Strike, dump what Lava Lash will need to be, and just keep doing this until you get Stormbinder procs. Make sure you keep your buffs up 24/7, and when Stormbinder's off cooldown, or Storm Strike's off cooldown, you use it. And that's Enhancement Shaman. It's really like rhythmic what you gotta do. You just go back and forth. It's really relaxing. And then sometimes it gets really hectic. When I mean hectic, I mean really hectic. No, look, got a proc. And a proc. And a proc. And a proc. It's really nice. Never cap out Maelstrom, by the way. Always make sure you're uncapped of Maelstrom. We got some good procs, boys. And that's the little spikes coming up with some artifact weapon, which I'll get into later. Now that's the basic rotation, and for AoE rotation, because I'm not going to make an intermediate guide anymore, you just Stormlash, Feral Spirits. Make sure you keep the buff up at all times. And you're on your way to full DPS. Anyway, thank you for watching the beginner Shaman guide. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit about yourself in the spec. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.